Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Girls Ask Guys show. Welcome to 10 Minute Tuesday. My name's Ashley, and with me is John, everybody's favorite, who is too good to be true, by the way. And today, 10 Minute Tuesday, we have, how do you know if a relationship isn't going to work?
Yeah, it's one of those questions that got sent in, and it was, hey, we might as well go ahead and tackle it because we keep talking about how to build a great relationship, but how do you know if that relationship is going to work or if it's doomed from the beginning? We might as well go ahead and break that down for you.
Yeah, let's do it. So I think, number one, it's a great question, right? It's an excellent question to ask because we always do focus on how to make a relationship work, but we never really focus on the concept of what happens, how do we see the signs of if it doesn't?
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to drop some knowledge on you, and we're going to give you what is the 4 most common points that you know if these are happening or if these are starting to happen, your relationship isn't going to work. And we're also going to give you like the 3 questions that you have to ask in order to answer whether that relationship is going to work or not.
Right.
It's one of those things that really makes us unique.
Yeah, very much so.
We focus on that, how to make the relationship, build the relationship, but we also give you the tools to make sure that you're on the correct path so that, well, you really don't have to worry about if the relationship is going to work or not because everything is taken care of for you. You just have to do the work.
Right. Yeah, like it's literally half the freaking battle. And that's very, very true. And I think a lot of it comes down to fear. When we talk about why a relationship won't work, a lot of the times we're talking about what are you afraid of? What are they afraid of? What are you guys afraid of together? And it'll start like this. Number one, you're not going out because you're afraid. You're not meeting people because you're afraid. Or you're like, I like this person, and you don't even give them a chance because you're afraid. Or as soon as there's some sort of, I don't want to say red flag, as soon as you assume there's a red flag, you run away because you're afraid.
Yeah. There's this girl at work that I've been talking to, and I literally just walked up to her one day, started a conversation, and I just flat out told her, I like you. And the look on her face was kind of, well, she's wearing a mask, but her eyes kind of like got a little bit big, and she's like, whoa. And I was just, look, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to sit there and stalk you and stuff like that. I'm not going to ask you for any more than you are willing to give. I'm not going to ask you to do anything you're not willing to do. Right. And really, she was like, wow, okay. And we continued talking for about the next, well, we're on the casino floor, but we continued talking for about the next 30 seconds that we had available before I got some kind of call over my radio. But it was that kind of thing. And we've continued to talk ever since. And I've lived up to my promise. I've not asked her for anything more than she's willing or can give. It's taking that risk. Now, I could have sat there and go, oh, well, she's busy right now, so I'm not going to talk to her. Well, she's, I don't know. I mean, maybe she's in a relationship. I really don't know. So, well, fuck it. Why even bother? It's those kind of fears that you have to overcome. Take a risk. Show some confidence.
Yeah, I agree, actually. Take a risk, show some confidence. Stop being afraid. It's okay. Like, it's okay to feel that. Everyone, when you're getting back out there or before you even start to get out there, you're going to feel that fear. But if you let that fear go and you just kind of meditate, breathe your way through it, you'll realize that instead of projecting fear, you'll be projecting confidence. You'll be projecting openness. And we've seen that the reason a relationship ends when it really comes down to it is about 4 different traits.
Yeah, with the 4 most common things that we see when working with couples or when we start talking with clients and going into their past relationships, they start describing what their past relationships look like.
Mhm.
And these are the 4 most common things that keep coming up. We'll give you one of them just because it is like the most common one that people have to deal with. But you're going to have to listen in Thursday in order to get the other 3. And that one that we see the most of is indifference.
Yeah. It's a tough one, too.
It's a tough one because it kind of creeps in. And really, indifference is one of those that you see inside of an ambiguous relationship. You're just not mentally there for the other person anymore. And they are not there for you.
Yeah, and when it happens, like you said, it just creeps up. When it happens, whether you're the indifferencee or the indifferencer, to know that you once cared about someone, like you would move the end of the earth for someone or they would move the end of the earth for you, and to get to a point where you just simply are indifferent about it, it hurts to think that this person is the person I wanted,
Desired.
My soul ached for. Yeah, I desired. And my soul ached for them, and now I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're just kind of there. You're like 2 roommates. Just happen to share the same bed, share the same bathroom, lounge around in the same living room, may watch a TV show together, maybe a movie. Every now and then, maybe once in a while, have some sex. I mean, it's boring, but okay. I mean,
yeah, you want to play some cards? I'm bored. We're going to play gin rummy like we do every Thursday, and it just becomes indifference stems from predictability.
Yeah, you become like overly predictable, but there's nothing there to desire. There's no excitement. There's no venture. All that stuff is missing. Kind of got the permanence. They're not going to leave. They're going to have to save up some cash to get another place.
Right.
So they're not going anywhere. But it really sucks. And you're just left needing and wanting something more.
Yeah.
So
it's terrible.
The question becomes, how do you get to that point when at the beginning of the relationship, you were like all over each other and you just could not wait to see them, and you were texting each other back and forth forever, and you were sorry that you were 5 minutes late answering their last text. How do you get from that?
Oh my God.
Yeah. How do you get from that to you just don't matter that much anymore? How do you get there?
Before we get into that a little bit more, indifference is not the same as comfort.
No.
You can confuse the two easily, but they're very different.
Yeah, there is more to it than just that. The two kind of run hand in hand, but you know when you experience it.
You know it when you see it, yeah.
You know it when you feel it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more that goes into it. We just can't go into it and cover everything within 10 minutes. That's why it's its own show. But indifference is one of those that it's easy to spot when you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no
very
cookie.
Easy.
Yeah. The thing about our show is on this whole thing of whether it's going to work or not, there are no cookie cutter answers. Everything can happen very slowly over time. It can happen very quickly. It can happen from one person or both people contributing to it. So if you want to know, is the relationship that you are in or the relationship you're thinking about going into or even the marriage that you have, is it going to work long term or is it not?
Yeah.
There are no hard answers. You're going to have to kind of take this stuff and apply it and look at it objectively for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. We could obviously say, hey, this is a red flag. This is a like we could go off and name a million deal breakers, but that doesn't make it true. You know, like I think that's one thing that gurus do that annoys the shit out of me. If they're this, then this doesn't work. It's not true. Sometimes if someone cheats, a couple can move forward from it.
Sometimes people cheat on the other person with the other person's actual knowledge. They actually have permission to do it.
Hello.
I have seen that. That is,
of course,
it's a new thing. It's a relatively new thing that couples are trying all around the world.
Yeah.
Where their relationship is at a rock hard standstill. They don't really want to get a divorce because they still care about each other. There is an element of desire, but the other person desires something different. So they give a night off and permission to do whatever and then they come back and they discuss what happened and they move on from there. I was like, wait a minute, this is a thing?
What? Yeah, it's a huge thing. It's crazy, yeah.
I've heard about open relationships. I'm very good friends with he's still a pickup artist. He's still running his school, but he is in an open relationship.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's in an open relationship, But I've never heard of a committed relationship where they just like take a night off and give a hall pass.
Yeah, dude.
That was something new.
You do what you got to do, and you do what makes you happy. And that's what it comes down to. Ultimately, when we ask the question, how do we know if a relationship isn't working? And I think we can simplify it by saying, if you listen to the show on Thursday, we'll get into those 4 in-depth things. And when you assess your relationship with the person, if you feel like you're either experiencing those or you're experiencing those and you can't talk to your partner about it, that's when you know for a fact it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's my hard line is right there. If you cannot openly express and communicate what is taking place, or your partner is not willing to do that with you, that is when I'm like, this is not going to work long term. You might as well call it quits right now.
Yeah.
But you have to hit those checkpoints first. You have to know what you're looking for, how to assess it, and where to progress from there.
I agree. And I think that's really where we want to leave it. Just so you guys listen to the show listen to the 3 extra, warning signs. Make sure that you're listening back to our previous show about desire, because that plays a big role into it too. Guys, as always, make sure you're rate, sharing, subscribing. Tell your moms, tell your friends, tell everyone you know. Type a stranger, say, hey, have you listened to the Girls Ask Guys show lately? Because I think it's wonderful. Make sure you freaking comment. Make sure you are telling us how wonderful we're doing. Check on our website. Keep checking back on our new courses. And then just, once again, if you need anything, if you want to just say hi, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I believe, but not as much. And then there. Just make sure that make sure you hit us up if you have any questions, if you have any show ideas, if you want to be on the show. Just say, hey, John, Ashley, I listened to your show. I think I could be a great guest, and here's why. And we will get back to you.
Yes. Yeah. And if it's over one of our long-time previous episodes from season 2, more than likely we're not going to be able to fit you in.
Right.
There's a lot that has happened since then. So do appreciate it, but we don't want to bring up some of those old episodes, not because they don't fit or the what we talked about doesn't work. We've gone a lot further in depth since
we just have a strategy now. Yeah. Worst case scenario, we say yes. If it's something cool, we'll definitely consider and talk about it. Always make sure, like I said, commenting is important. All the reviews, guys, we've surpassed our numbers, and I just think it's amazing. So, John, if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, I don't have anything else for this 10-Minute Tuesday because we are getting close to being overtime. Oh, nope, we're overtime. Anyway, so with that, we will talk to you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.